Welcome to the Bare Bones Podcast. You absolute slags.
Good day, guys, and welcome back to the Bare Bone Podcast, episode 2. Okay. What a week. Firstly, big shout outs to everyone who's had a listen. I was checking the numbers there just before, and they're going up. People all over the place too, so yeah, everyone who's listening, thanks very much. Everyone who's reposting it, resharing it, big up yourself, yeah? Okay. What's happening this week? Actually, I tell you what, I've got hold of for this week's podcast. Got myself the little sample of some DJ air horns. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna be busting that one out, you know. So yeah, it's gonna bring a whole new dimension. Can't wait to be just annoying everyone with that all the way through, so turn your volume down. Oh man. I tell you what I've seen this week actually. I was watching Tom Segura. If you haven't seen Tom Segura, check him out, he's funny. But him and his mate were chatting about TikTok. Now TikTok has been a weird one because as far as I was aware, it was like a little app where teenagers were doing like little dance routines or something, and I don't know, people were trying to make it like Vine, but it will never be like Vine. But they highlighted they put a link up to a TikTok compilation video, and I watched it. What is going on? Has anyone else looked into this? What the fuck is going on TikTok, man? I mean, firstly, there's like this whole... I mean, like, right, okay, if you're like between, 12 and 16, maybe even 18, and you're doing your little dance routines on there, or you and your mates are just messing around, fair play. Be young, be free. You do you, babes. But if you're like 25 and you're a grown up, yeah? What are you up to? What are you doing? Now, I have seen on there a whole world I didn't know existed. Has anyone ever seen this thing they call themselves furries? I never knew this was a thing. For those who don't know about the furry community, I've learnt this, that it's basically grown-ups, yeah? Grown-ups, people who pay bills and that. And what they do is they put like a big furry head, like a sort of mascot looking head of a dog on their noggin. And then they like have these little gloves and that sometimes, little furry gloves and that. And they talk in like a sort of anime cartoon Scooby-Doo voice. Yeah. I mean that is pretty much it. And I never knew this was this isn't like a couple people, this is like a huge underground scene. And I was, what the right. Here's my point. What is going on when you can go on TikTok, right? As a 25-year-old male, put a fluffy mascot head on your bunts and be like, I I'd love a biscuit. Right? You can do that and then go to work the next day. Because these people aren't just like doing it incognito styles, yeah? These people they're taking the masks off in the videos. I mean, how can you do that and go to school or go to work and not get absolutely destroyed? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, I remember going to school, right? And I got absolutely shredded for a whole day. A whole day. What was the reason? Oh, my shoes were too shiny. Oh my god. My shoes were too shiny. That was it. And yeah. Imagine if I come in and I was like, hey, did anyone check out my TikTok on the weekend? I was dressed up as a dog. I'm just into that sort of thing too on the weekends. If that's what you're into, fair enough. But have people stopped bullying or what? If Lars come in and I'd seen him on the weekend dressed as a cocker spaniel, drinking milk out of a bowl, I would have a few things to say about it. That's just one part of it, man. There's also a lot of people doing lip syncing sort of stuff. And I'm going to be honest, it's mostly overweight American. Can I say redneck? Can I say that? Well, I'm saying it. You know, I mean, they're the sort of people who are wearing tap out clothes. You know, them ones. Oh, just like, hey, bro, I just bought myself a new wife beater. Oh, decent. What brand is it? It's Tap Out. You know, sort of person who's got like 3 different teeth and they're all in different postcodes. And what they're doing, they're lip syncing, yeah? To well, the worst ones is some sort of voiceover from like a 50 Shades of Grey style book. You know, it's sort of like it's usually something a bit like a male dominating sort of weird catchphrase, or just something a bit flirty, a little bit something sort of lascivious. I can't even think of what they would say, but it would be, you know, oh, you've been misbehaving, you're so naughty, I'm gonna have to spank you. Something like that, you know. But the guy saying it looks like Shrek. Yeah? What are you doing? It's like these people just have no self-awareness at all. It's mental. There is I mean, a lot of these people do seem a bit, you know, not the sharpest button in the knife drawer. You know what I mean? But it's like I almost excuse them because they're just not fully aware, I think, of what they're up to. If you know that there is a lot of people on TikTok actually who are definitely got some sort of disability, and I'm not even including them because, you know, whatever, they can do what they want. I'm on about maybe even the worst ones is these guys who what they do is they have a scenario written on the screen, and then they will act out the scenario like you're the other person in the scenario. So they're like looking straight at the camera at you. You know what I mean? Nearly every single boy who does this has got the same haircut. What does that tell you? They've normally got the little dangly George Michael earring as well. When did that make a comeback? Leave it. And they do scenarios like, and not just like, oh, here's me being grateful for a bacon sandwich. This is like, just caught my dad beating my mom again, and they're like crying and being like proper emotional and that. Some of the acting's not actually that bad, but it's a little bit sort of less persuasive when they got the shirt off. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, these are some quite serious scenarios, and you just like flexing. You know what I mean? It's like, one guy was like, I'm just looking at my kid and I'm really proud or something. And he was like on the verge of tears and smiling and that. But it's like, why you got your muscles out for? Like, if you want to just show off that you got muscles, just do that. Why you got to do all this weird acting and that? And it's like the level of narcissism involved is just horrendous. Cop onto yourself, man. It's like, I mean, I don't know. Is this what girls are into these days? I don't know. It's just bizarre to me that that's what they're up to. And there's like a whole load of guys who just will be in slow motion and just like bite their lip or something, like, and there's no irony there. They're not like, oh look, this is like really cringy or whatever. They're legit. They think that they are the knees of some bees. It's fucking weird, man. And I tell you what, do yourself a favour, right? Go on YouTube, TikTok cringe compilation. I got through 3 of them, and that's it. I'm never watching any more ever again. See if you can do more than 3. Like, that's the sort of research I'm doing for you guys, yeah? Man's dedicated out here. Oh. What else? Because let's definitely move away from that one. I tell you what, actually, I just had a sandwich just before, and it was, I think about this all the time, and I thought I'd tell you because the story I told there a couple of weeks back about when I tried to ride a bike and I passed out, that one when I looked cool. Oh, that's another. I got to get the sample in there. Remember when I tried to be cool and ride a bike and I just fainted? Yeah, sick, bro, sick. I had a few messages about that, and people loved that. Everyone thought that was well funny, my embarrassment. So I'm going to tell you this story now, and I might even do like one of my embarrassing moments every week. Or do you know what's even... I tell you what, if you want to message me with one of your embarrassing moments, I'll read it out anonymous. I'll read it anonymous. No one needs to know who you are. It'll just be funny. But this is... I was looking back through some of my old journals and that, and it's just a string of embarrassing and anxious moments strung together. But... So, oh yeah, the sandwich, right? And this still, I think about this, like, almost every time I make a sandwich, it's still in there. way back, secondary school had we had a class called food technology, where they were basically, teaching us to cook and whatever. And new term, first lesson of food tech, we got given the list of ingredients to bring in, but it was like basically just an introduction to the course. We're going to sit around, discuss it, bring some ingredients to make a sandwich. So I was like, oh, right, we're just going to sit and eat a sandwich, and like that'll be our lunch sort of thing, and we'll just discuss the course, right? So I said to my mum, like, oh, yeah, I've just got to make a sandwich, don't worry about it, I'll sort myself out. And she didn't ask any questions. Why would she? So anyway, I roll into the class, and I'm like, cool, let's get on with it. And she's like, right, everyone just crack on, make your sandwich. Now, I thought we were just making a snack to eat as we had the discussion, but it turns out making the sandwich was the first meal, right? I brought in a little bit of like French bread, like a little baguette, little sliver of baguette, and some Marmite. Love Marmite. So I was just going to make a little Marmite sandwich, and that would be me. I think I might have had a bit of cheese in there. I think there was a bit of cheese in there. Cheese and Marmite. That was it. Like, basic 101 sandwich. No Subway sandwich artistry going on. Mine ain't the Picasso of the baguette world. So, as I'm like getting my bits out, I start looking around. People have got all sorts of stuff, and I was like, that sinking feeling, like, oh shit. So, like, it took me like about 30 seconds to just knock this absolute mess up. I'm looking around, people have got like bread rolls cut open, lettuce, tomato, ham, making their own dressings. They got like, one girl had like, remember them crisps, chipsticks? They're like just little sticks. Chipstick, that's why they were called chipsticks, I imagine. And she'd like laid them out in like a little fan formation. And I was like, oh my God. And then the teacher's like, right, 2 more minutes and we're going to have presentation. I'm sorry, what? Presentation? I was like, oh, for God's sake. So I looked around, I found this like metal plate, like an army camping plate. And I just whacked it in the middle of that. Put it on the table. And, oh man. Just the embarrassment level was through the roof, eh? Teacher's seen it. Oh, whose is this one? Me. That's me, miss. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, French bread. French bread, nice. Like, what else could she say? You know what I mean? It's a cheese and Marmite sandwich. And then we all got scored on it. 5 out of 10 I got. 5 out of 10. Which, it's not the worst. But it just made me think, like, what would have I had to do to get like a 3? You know what I'm saying? How much worse can I get than that? Not make one. That's obviously 0 out of 10. But 5 out of 10. 3 out of 10, I reckon I could have just like sneezed into a naan bread. You know what I mean? Vomited on a focaccia. I don't know what else I could have done to get a lower score. But 5 out of 10. And yeah, every time I'm making a sandwich, that creeps into my mind. That is like fully burnt into my brain. Oh, so yeah. Sandwiches. Sick. Well, here in New Zealand, we are just out of lockdown. We've been in level 3 for a little while. We're in level 2 now. Mainly just because not everyone, but most people followed the rules. We went in hard, 4 weeks lockdown, early doors. Everybody did it. I mean, we're lucky that it's quite a low population and quite a rural country, so it's quite easy to contain the whole thing. And we also had DJ Jacinda up on them 1s and 2s. She's been pushing the buttons from the DJ booth. And she's been getting like global recognition for that. So, yeah. Big up yourself, Jacinda. But now we're on level 2, and today, Thursday, is today's the first day the pubs are open, which is mental. I mean, I get they're trying to probably not open them on a Friday, because that would be, everyone would just go a bit bonkers, but who's going to work tomorrow? There's going to be a few people definitely not. But yeah, pubs are back open. Still got to be in groups of 10 or less, but who goes to the pub with 10 people? That seems like a lot, unless it's like someone's birthday or something. But yeah, pubs are back open. You could go last week, but you had to order food and get a drink with your food, which I couldn't help but thinking about that episode of The Inbetweeners, when one of them gets the fake ID and they end up going down and they end up having to get like 3 carvery dinners just so they can all have a pint of cider each. I just had this vision of everyone down the pub this week with like a load of pints, and everyone's got a big plate of sausage and mash in front of them. No one's getting drunk because they're just eating so many carbohydrates. But we'll see how that goes. It doesn't really affect me too much. I don't go to the pub too much. If I'm playing a gig, obviously, I'll pop in every now and then for a quick socialiser, but as most of you, or probably all of you know, I am alcohol free. I don't drink because maybe the man like me don't need to. Have been for many a year. Pretty much forever, really. 10 years. 10, 12 years. Dipped in and out, maybe once or twice. I think I got drunk probably twice in the last 5 years. And before that, even more rarer than that. I think I've probably been like drunk. I'd say maybe 5 times. 5 times in my entire life. Which to most people probably sounds mental. But I will do a podcast that discusses that in depth, because people ask me a lot of questions about it, and a lot of people, well, being older now, most people don't quiz me on it too much. They get it, and I always get the same reaction of, oh, I wish I could do that, but you don't. And why would you? I wish I didn't a lot of the time, but I will do a podcast talking about why I am that way and what caused it, because it's kind of related, with mental health a little bit, and just where I grew up and whatever. So I'd like to do a podcast about that in the future. I also want to do a podcast about a sort of a timeline of my musical projects. I'd like to do that. Start way back when I was at school. I had a couple little bands and whatever. And then do a sort of evolution of my sort of musical experimentation, if you will, from nothing to the bad boy DJ I am today. Brackets not a DJ. But I think that'll be interesting, and it's good because I'll be able to play little snippets of all the songs, like my favourite bits, worst bits, blah blah blah. And that's fine because there's no copyright infringement issues with that, because I own that shit. Don't need to get permission. Unless it's from myself. Alex, can you have permission? Yes, Alex, yes you can. So no issues there. So yeah, that's coming up. But I just want to wait a bit because the viewing, well not the viewing, but you know, the listening figures are creeping up. And that is a podcast that's going to take a long time to edit. Getting all the files, editing them, chopping them up, whatever. So if I do it, it's going to be a lot of effort, and I don't want to have to redo it in the future. So I'm going to just hold off for a few weeks, maybe even a couple of months, and start piecing that together. But that's going to be when I'm going to really enjoy making. And there's a lot in there too. I've sort of done a lot of different genres of music. I've made a lot of shit, but in amongst all that, there's a couple of tunes I'm still really proud of. A couple of absolute bangers. So yeah, hold tight for that one, yeah. I think we might call it there for this week. A little bit short of time, but I don't want to waffle on about nothing for no reason. So maybe we'll just leave it there. Once again, thanks to everyone who's listened. Give it a share. Flick me a message. Let me know your embarrassing stories. Anything else? Any other news? Nah. Alright. Big up yourself, yeah? Hold tight to the jungle raver crew. Okay. Until next time. Sayonara.